What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Party on Broad. Today, we are reacting to the latest news of Eagles roster cuts. We're going to do a quick roster prediction, position by position, and we're going to talk Eagles versus Cowboys. We are a week and a half out. Joining us, Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. What's good, Ryan?
Yeah, this game is inching ever closer, and by this time tomorrow, we will know who our 53 is going, or at least at the time. Obviously, with Howie, you never know what move he'll pull, but the initial cuts will have a good idea of what this roster is looking like.
Yeah, it was really hard to predict where we were going to go with this show because sometimes they, announce all the cuts and then we're reacting. Sometimes, uh, we're doing what we're doing here. We don't know all the cuts just yet, but let's quickly run through them. Thank you, Jimmy Kemsky of Philly Voice, for keeping this updated tracker. Uh, the Eagles announced they've waived Lewis Seen,
Yep.
Dorian Thompson Robinson, and
Yep.
Kenyon Green. Any thoughts on those three?
Yeah, I mean, Kenyon Green was a little bit of a surprise, only for the fact that again, he was first round pick only a few years ago, and we did just trade away our starting safety, to get him. So, um, not, I mean, it's not that we all thought he was going to be the starting right guard here, but I'm surprised they didn't kind of want to at least hold on to him a little bit and kind of develop him.
Yeah. I was not a fan of Kenyon Green. As soon as they made that trade, I thought, it was pretty obvious. It doesn't fit the system. Um, and then DTR, I was hoping for more, quite honestly. I didn't think he was going to make the team, but he looked straight bad. And
Awful.
it's just what it is. I heard, he had some good moments during camp, but it just did not translate onto the field. And then Lewis Seen didn't. I mean, he had an interception during the last preseason game. Good for him, but really showed you nothing. So nothing really that surprising.
No, yeah, no. Obviously, the first initial cuts are never going to be a shocker or something that pains you. So,
Yeah,
and honestly, neither are the next couple. So,
yeah. Next group: E.J. Jenkins, Kellen Robinson, Nick Muse, Kyle McCord, the Eagles' sixth-round rookie, and then Montrell Johnson. Any reaction to those?
I thought Kyle McCord was more likely the candidate to be the third stringer. Obviously, once they traded for Sam Howell, which if you've been living under a rock, they did. Um, and yeah, I think it was more of I think that move was more of a mark on the fact that Tanner McKee isn't going to be ready for the opener. But I thought still, McCord might be a nice candidate to be the third quarterback, but looks like we're going to be heading into the season with two active quarterbacks and
Yeah.
potentially Tanner McKee on IR.
Right. Um, I missed the mark with Kyle McCord. I think I got that one wrong. I thought he showed a lot of improvements between 2024 and 2023. I liked what I saw from the Syracuse tape, and it just did not. I mean, the speed of the NFL and
Yeah.
everything was just too much, unfortunately. Montrell Johnson, I like quite a bit. I thought he showed that he's a guy that will, kind of take what he can get. And I liked what I saw in that third preseason game from Montrell Johnson. Like Jimmy says here, I would be very happy to see him get on that practice squad.
Yeah.
And then we get to Eli Ricks, Shondarius
Yeah.
Powell, and Elijah Cooks and Terrace Marshall.
Yeah, I think Eli Ricks, what I think it was simply just a numbers game, honestly. You have obviously two corners and Q and Coop that are going to be on this team for a long time coming. and you have a couple of, two or three guys that are kind of vying for that third spot, and there just was way too many names and just too many corners there to hold so many. So I unfortunately wished we could have maybe found a trade partner, but
Mhm.
hey, who knows? Weird things have happened, but I fully expect Eli Ricks to get scooped up by somebody.
I agree. And then you look at, um, you mentioned. We'll talk about a trade the Eagles made later on, bringing back a guy. But like you look at Eli Ricks, I wish there was another guy that they kind of held on in Isaiah Rogers. Would be making us feel a lot better right now. Um, Elijah Cooks, Terrace Marshall definitely have upside.
Sure.
Uh, they should definitely be able to find a home in the very near future. And then Maxon Hook,
Yeah.
another guy with a little bit of upside that maybe at one point during the offseason could have been a sneaky dark horse to make the roster, but probably a practice squad guy as well. Any thoughts on him?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Again, I don't know if we saw enough out of him um, to really kind of warrant a roster spot. But yeah, hey, listen. I know there's practice squad guys are on the practice squad for a variety of reasons. Some are, more of a, hey, this is a guy that I feel like in a pinch could come in and play. And then there's the guys that are, hey, these are the guys that I feel like has a very high ceiling. They we just haven't tapped into it just yet. We want to develop. We want to develop. We want to develop. And I think Hook could be that develop guy, where they take their time, throw him on the practice squad, and maybe, by this time next year, he's on the roster.
And then moving forward, the Eagles made several trades yesterday.
Sure
Darian
did.
Kennard to the Packers. They traded for quarterback Sam Howell, and
Yep.
then they traded for offensive tackle Fred Johnson. Which of those gets you the most excited?
Oh, well, obviously, it's bringing back Fred.
I know. I was so
Come
excited.
on now.
He was,
Yeah, obviously, the Eagles were not happy with what they had with their options at swing tackle. And obviously, Fred Johnson when called upon last year, came in and did great. I hope to God we don't see Fred, but if should we need to, I feel pretty decent about having Fred back in the fold, and yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice to feel comforted with that.
he was so, and we talked about this many times during previous shows. He was so underrated for the Eagles last year.
Yeah,
Came in right tackle, left tackle, you name it. He was one of the more consistent, rocks on this O line, and he had some big moments too. I think we forget how important he was, especially in that like first half of the regular season. He was solid, very
yeah.
very solid.
I wish we had a guard version of Fred Johnson.
All right, let's get into our position by position roster, 53-man roster predictions. Let's start at quarterback. How many you keeping, Ryan?
Well, I think ultimately, I think we keep two, and we put McKee on the IR, and he misses the first four games.
Yeah, that sounds pretty logical, given that they're trying to they go out and get a consistent, reliable guy in Sam Howell.
Yeah.
I just don't know when are we going to get the Tanner McKee update. I feel like we keep waiting and we haven't.
Yeah, hell, it took way too long for us just to figure out that it was something with his finger, and then we didn't get a lot of details. So it just seems like it's a little bit more serious than they're leading on, and that they keep saying, oh well, his game one, status is up in question. I think he's 100% out, and I think this move by getting Sam Howell only further proves that he's going to be out for a little bit.
Yep. All right, moving to running back. I'm going four. I'm going to go Barkley, Shipley, my man BBS, and of course AJ Dillon.
Yeah.
I'm where you at?
Yeah, that's exactly how I have it too. Um, you know, I think Dylan, came in and was the guy that we thought he was, going to be. Will Shipley has certainly, you see the improvement. Um, he certainly is able to hit those holes, and again, I don't know if he's going to be him or Dylan are going to be used as much as perhaps Gainwell, but still, it's nice to know that when called upon, we have kind of two different options there, and then BVS again. I know that they are pretty adamant about the fullback position and not seeing it die. So enter BVS and let's block some MFers.
I can't wait, man. He's gonna make like 2 or 3 great blocks for Saquon week 1. I'm just gonna shove it in your face. It'll be amazing.
Oh God.
All right, let's roll on to wide receiver. Unfortunately, Johnny Wilson is gone for the 2025 season, which sucks because he was such an underrated run
Yeah.
blocker. But 5 wide receivers, 6 wide receivers. I'm going with 6. I'm going to keep Darius Cooper, and I'm going to keep Anaya Smith. Where are you at?
Yeah, that's the two extras I have. Obviously, Mechie, whom you just recently traded for, and Dotson will be your fighting for 3-4. But yeah, Coop I think showed absolutely enough. He showed it in practice. He was very noticeable there. And in person, I literally had to look up his number. I had no idea who he was. And then obviously that first game. I mean, he absolutely blew up. Didn't really get used too much in that second game, and whatever. Third game was kind of, trash. But yeah, I'm glad he's, or at least I hope to say that I'm glad that he's made the roster.
All right, let's move to tight end. I think this is maybe where I get um, some slack. I'm only going 2. I'm going 2
Oh,
tight ends for the Eagles. I'm going to go Goddard, of course, and Grant Calcaterra. I think Kylan Granson's an intriguing pass catcher, but given what the Eagles' identity is and what they want to be in 2025, personally, I think they should look elsewhere. Perhaps if they are going to have 3 tight ends, I would much rather have a run blocker, a guy that can be reliable in that area. What about you?
yeah, I I still think they will go with 3. Still think Granson will will make that spot. Um, but yeah, hey, listen, I can certainly see it your way, but um, I don't know. It's going to be tough. That's definitely one of the ones where I went back and forth a few times, but I just think, I don't know. I just there's so many times where you use two tight end sets. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
one guy goes down, you're scrambling. You know what I mean? So I feel like it'd be nice to make sure we had a third one.
Yep. And then we get to offensive line. We'll just combine it, just make it easier. Um, I mean, obviously your 5 starters. Then we go um, Matt Pryor for sure. I think he's a lock. Drew Kendall's a lock.
Yeah,
Where are you at with Kendall Lamb now that they brought in Fred Johnson? Is he a lock?
done.
Or done?
No, he's done.
Yeah, I'd probably right there with you. I think
Peace out, Cub Scout. Get out of here.
um, Kenyon Green is out, obviously.
Yeah,
Um,
I think Miles Hinton sneaks on.
really?
Yeah, I really do.
Oh man, that just maybe because they're afraid that he might get picked up elsewhere.
I think potentially. I think that last spot honestly was between Holland Pierce and Miles Hinton.
Hmm.
And I don't know, just from their, I guess, usage, I just feel like they perhaps prefer Miles Hinton a little bit over what they've seen in Holland Pierce.
Yeah, I don't think Holland Pierce is making it.
Yeah,
I guess Matt Pryor could be debatable.
yeah, but
I
it's
I
nice to have
think,
the veteran.
but Drew Kendall showed he can play guard. I think he's
Yep,
a lock.
yep.
Trevor Keegan. What's your thoughts on him?
Uh, I think it's certainly possible.
I think he's,
Um, do what?
I think he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if again, gun to my head, I'd say the same, but I could see a weird scenario where he's on this roster at the end of the day.
Yeah. All right, let's roll into edge rushers. Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, Josh Uche, Aziz Ojolari are locks. I guess the question marks come in with guys like Patrick Johnson,
Ooh.
APR. Where you at?
Oh man, this is tough because I feel like Patrick Johnson and APR did enough, and honestly, I would keep six.
I would too.
I really like the both of them, and I think Antoine Powell Ryland has such a natural ability to get to the quarterback that like I just would love to see him develop over the year and hone in those some of those other skills and really become more of a complete player. And Patrick Johnson, I don't again I can't put my finger on one thing that I'm just like so impressed about. But man, he just does a lot of little things really good.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, he seems to be also in a always puts himself in a good spot. So,
I agree. I would go six. I need that rotation to be solid.
yeah.
A little worried about like Jalix Hunt getting hurt or something like. Then I might have a little bit of a concern. Let's run to defensive tackle. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Ojomo, Ty Robinson, Gabe Hall, Byron Young. Six. Where you
Yeah.
at?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. All right. I don't think there's really much to add there. I kind of like that rotation.
I mean, there's a clear cutoff.
Yeah.
I mean, the other guys, I mean, I honestly I couldn't tell you their names.
Yeah. Vic Fangio clearly loves Byron Young. I don't really have anything else on defensive tackle. I think that's pretty obvious. Let's roll into linebackers. Ryan, how many you keep in there? Bond, Campbell, Trot Jr.
And Munden.
Did Munden do enough for you?
Yeah, I think so. I like the intangibles. I like the potential for development. And I think, you know, you can kind of slowly bring him along and it's not gonna kill you.
Yeah.
So, and who knows, when Dean will be ready. Obviously,
Right.
I would assume he'll start on the pup list.
Mhm.
So maybe what's that? That's pup is officially 6 weeks, right?
Yeah. So
So
what happens with Dean when he gets healthy? Like where do you envision him in this rotation?
I think it's all going to depend on the development of Jahad Campbell.
Probably.
I mean, if Jahad Campbell's just tearing through people, sorry, Dean, you'll get like rotated in maybe when somebody needs a breather.
Mhm.
But but if Jihad still maybe is taking a little slow to develop, yeah, he'll get thrown right in there.
Yep.
Honestly,
All right. Cornerback, I'm going six. Q, Coop, Adoree, Keeley, Mac McWilliams, and Jacorian Bennett. Obviously, Eli Ricks is gone. Perry Nickerson did nothing for me this offseason and preseason. What about
not,
you?
that interception he had.
Nah, nah, I'm out.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, if they cut Eli Ricks, they're cutting everybody else.
There was like, I feel like a week or so where Eli Ricks had some buzz a little bit, but it's a shame. I always liked Eli Ricks. Uh, then we get to safety. Reed, obviously.
Yep.
Drew, obviously.
Yep.
Sidney Brown and Tristan McCullum. I think I'm gonna go four. What about you?
Yeah, I think that's the last I had it. I don't think Andre Sam did enough, and he'll try to get onto that practice squad. Maxon Hook again. I'd certainly like to see that him be a developmental keep, but I think he may ultimately be a numbers game when it comes to practice squad and may not be asked. So
All right, there it is. That is our predictions for the
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What about our
man
three
roster.
specialists? Come on.
Nah.
He
The
said no.
interception was the only play of his I saw. Looked great, but one play. I also
Yeah.
saw him get picked on quite often during the preseason. Um, let's get into matchups. I mean, I'm just dying to talk about an actual real football game. Eagles versus Cowboys in about a week and a half.
Hmm.
What are some of your top matchups to watch before we close up shop?
Well, listen, I think heading into this game, I think first and foremost, the number one matchup is the Dallas Cowboys versus Micah Parsons. Plain and simple. I mean, that might be that might be a very Dibes like answer, but
It is.
uh,
Very much is.
we got to see if he's going to be out there. Honestly, if he's if he's not signed a contract and he looks as like he did on the sidelines last game. Did you see him? He was laying on the table. He could not give two flying whats. But we'll see. So that's first and foremost. I certainly will be looking at our pass rush
Yeah.
versus their offensive line.
Hmm.
Dallas has always maintained good, decent offensive line. Certainly not like us, but um, yeah, they've always had a decent offensive line. So I'm kind of curious how that line looks now. And we've always usually had like one or two guys that can really go after it. And now we don't have a lot of proven guys. Obviously Nolan Smith certainly did his thing in the playoffs, but he's still very young and he's still very unproven in the regular season. So, obviously we know what we have in Jalen Carter, but yeah, I'd like to kind of see that whole matchup of our front four and whomever Vic might be sending their way, but versus that offensive line.
Yeah, that's where my head goes for this one. Starting with the trenches, the Eagles D line versus the Cowboys O line. You have Nolan Smith versus Terrence Steele, which Nolan should have a field day there for sure. Then you have Jalix Hunt versus Tyler Guyton. Tyler Guyton's a developing guy entering year two. Um, did he get hurt, or am I thinking of someone else?
No, I thought he did get hurt. I don't know how serious, but
Tyler Guyton,
pretty sure he did.
he returned to practice.
Huh.
So
Okay, well, I guess it wasn't that serious.
yeah. So that'll be really fun to watch. Jalix Hunt and what kind of snap workload he is ready for week one. And then my favorite one by far is obviously Jalen Carter versus Tyler Booker.
Yeah.
Tyler Booker's a rookie out of Alabama, a guard. Had awesome stats there at Bama, but man, when you enter the NFL and you're already calling out Jalen Carter and things like that, Carter's coming right for him, and you never want to do that. I'll go. Another one to watch is and we'll get into more of this next week.
Right.
George Pickens versus anyone not named Quinyon Mitchell.
Right.
Pickens is a guy that can stretch the field vertically. He's a guy that can, the Dak Prescott can get the ball out fast. So hopefully we don't see a lot of soft coverage shells because Pickens can, with his route running, can definitely take apart the Eagles' second cornerback, whether that's Jacorian Bennett or Dory Jackson or Keely Ringo. Who knows? Who knows what they roll out there week one? Any others for you?
No, I think, and this isn't necessarily a matchup, but it's more or less I'm just more curious how Dallas is going to look. But I'm really curious about their run game. Not really sure who's the lead guy. Is it Javonte Williams? Is the rookie from Texas going to play a little bit? I'm just more curious how that's going to look, honestly.
Rookie from Texas. Did they get Jaden Blue?
Yeah,
No way. All right.
yeah,
I forgot about that. Yeah, I was a big Jaden Blue guy there. That's pretty cool. Um,
sure
that
was.
basically wraps up our show. I don't have an Eagles 5 pack today. Totally forgot. Actually, no.
The
I'll make one up.
Okay.
Um, you know what? I watched a movie this past weekend that absolutely, completely ruined me, and
In a
um,
good way or a bad way?
a good way. It's a movie I haven't seen in years, and it completely tore me up because the first time I watched it was before Eva, before my daughter.
Oh,
And
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
time
Here
I
we go.
watched it after Eva. I'm talking about Interstellar. You ever watch Interstellar?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
And it's all about the father daughter like relationship. And
Yep.
I was just bawling. So my Eagles 5 pack for you is rank these Christopher Nolan movies
Oh,
without knowing what comes next.
oh, snap.
You ready?
Scheiße. Okay.
All right. Inception.
Oh, I like Inception. I really like Inception. I'm gonna have to say three though.
Ooh.
I
Okay.
really like it.
Oppenheimer.
Four.
4.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was that great. It was
I
a
feel
little
I
great.
I feel like I need to watch it maybe a couple of more times,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe it might kind of resonate a little bit more
Okay.
in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, it's one of those where like, yeah, it was enjoyable. I know it's great, a great movie. I just, yeah.
Oh, Tech,
Oh,
you got to watch Interstellar.
dude, yeah,
It was a while. It's been a while since I watched it, and I was like, this has to be like a top 20 movie ever. Like it's what it's
that's a
my
it's a pretty
favorite.
good movie.
I loved it. Anyway, you've got 3 and 4 off your list,
Yep,
correct?
yep.
All right, Interstellar.
I'm really worried about what you're about to do. I'm gonna say two.
2 for
Yeah,
Interstellar. All right, so you got 1 and 5.
yeah,
The Dark Knight.
that's one.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one. That's what I was hoping you'd give me that one.
And then Dunkirk.
Oh,
So
damn,
that would be 5.
I actually really like that. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, I have to put it at five, but maybe I would probably flop him that in Oppenheimer.
Okay.
Wasn't what's that movie? Isn't Tenet?
Yeah, 10.
And yeah, if you would have said Tenet, I would have said that would have been like a 20.
Yeah. Um,
Have
Tech has
you've seen
never
that
seen
movie?
which. No, I never saw Tenet.
I'm telling you, do it just to say that you did it, but like, it is the most confusing effing movie
Is it?
I've ever seen in my life. Visually, obviously, it's Christopher Nolan. It's amazing, but I was so lost. I've seen it three times. I still don't know what the heck the movie's about. I don't know anything that's going on.
Another underrated movie, Memento. Oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
that movie is terrific.
Wow, I haven't seen that one in forever.
And Insomnia. You ever see Insomnia? It's with Robin Williams as the villain,
No, I don't think I have.
and Al Pacino's like investigating the murders, and man, he's done.
Robin Williams, like
Yeah,
Patch Adams, Robin Williams.
yeah, he's terrific. He's
Really?
so good. Yeah, check it out.
I feel
Super,
like I
super
should have
underrated.
seen this movie.
It takes place in like Alaska or something,
Huh.
and like yeah, it's really well done. So, Machinist.
Oh yeah,
Never
Genius is
saw the
good.
Machinist. Never saw it. That's not Nolan though. Pretty sure that's not Nolan. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We are going live right after this to talk some college football. Ryan,
Yeah.
final thoughts on the roster so far?
Yeah, listen. Obviously, this is always kind of a nerve-wracking and fun day, but with Howie, he tends to make it a little bit cooler because there's always some trick up his sleeve. Or, I mean, the fact of the matter is, he just casually made 3 trades yesterday, or today, I should say.
Yeah.
Um, and there's still time to make a couple more tomorrow. So who knows?
Yep.
CB2, 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 CB2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Prestige
The
is a great movie. I like that.
So good. Prestige is underrated as well. Um, Team Tanner.
Team IR, more like.
Thanks, Krabby. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Right after this, we're talking week 1 of college football, talking top Eagles draft targets. We'll be live momentarily. He is Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. I'm Dives, Mr. Crackpot. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome.